at once. And you see it in the very top, right on the very top, it says 15 expenses selected, total 544.30. That's how you self-check. That's how you know all your upload expenses went through. So once you've checked and compared the upload you did originally and it matches what's now in Expensify, you see where it says add to new report, right there, add to report. You drop down, new report. And now you go to reports. And here it is, 544.30.
Okay.
So I am going to have everyone to please always, when you're doing this, make sure you label this like this all the time, because it makes it easier for us to know what account is being reconciled and what time frame. Oh. So this was account 6478, right?
Yes.
Right, and then we're gonna do May 1 through the 8th. And then we can say parts. Okay, so now everything is now labeled here, and you'll see this on the Expensify guide reference that George included, the procedures. All of this you'll see detailed just like this. It's just I'm giving you kind of like the live version of it right now. So now you labeled it, all your receipts are shown here, it matches your upload. You see how now it says non-reimbursable? It should always, always be there. If you see anything by any chance like $5, $10 that's off and it's under reimbursable, make sure you go to each item and check to see. You see where it says reimbursable right underneath 45? Maybe that one of the items was checked, but from the get-go, before you do the upload, where I showed you where it says non-reimbursable transactions, if that is not checked, you don't have to worry about it at all. Like you just don't. But this is your next like second self-check right here. So here you're pretty much set to go. All your uploads are here for that particular time frame. So you go in and click your first item. And then here is when you'll do your categories. That's weird because this one doesn't show all of them. That's interesting. But here's pretty much where you'll do the labeling, where you'll attach the receipt, and goes back to where George is. You'll go find it into wherever you saved all your receipts, and it'll probably be the Google for you guys. And then once you open it, save, it'll pretty much register it here, it'll save it, and then you'll just do the categories, whether it's client food or what have you, and then you put it under the project code that allows you in that budget. Once that's all been done and said, you'll save it, and then this will be filled in. Like you'll see like a little kind of like booklet thing on where the green is. And then on the top, you'll see, it'll say client food or whatever. It'll separate the sections by whether it's supplies, client, seminars, or what have you. And once all that's done, everything is completed, you'll see submit here, and then you'll send it to whomever you have to submit it to. You see, they're all here as a drop down. You select the person that you'll submit it to, check, attach PDF, and then you send. And that's it. You're pretty much done. And that's pretty much the overall process of how to reconcile your Expensify.
Great, thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Let me get out of here so I can get back to George.
Leave it open. Wherever you, that's fine. You can leave it there.
That's fine. Okay.
Any questions, anybody?
George, and again, I know it might seem a little overwhelming. I am more than happy to go through it with you for the first time around, just to have you get a feel of it, just to get comfortable with it. I can totally go with you step by step, so that you can just get comfortable with it. I have no problem with that. But on top of that, also, as I mentioned earlier, George did upload the latest Expensify guide that I have updated, just to kind of pretty much remind you of the steps in case you forget. You can always reference back to it. In addition to that, I'm really thinking about maybe doing a video of just the uploading piece, just to have as reference and put that up on the staff corner as well.
Great. Jacobo, you had a question?
You're going to be sharing this record meeting with everyone, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have access to the recording. You're going to have access. You should already have access to the procedures that lays out a step-by-step guide. And obviously, you can always reach out to Cynthia and myself if you have any questions.
Thank you.
I just wanted to also add in, I'm sorry, George, but sometimes when you have like purchases that come in, let's say you made a purchase at Target and for whatever reason it just didn't work out, you get your monies back. Make sure that the way that you originally code that return item, you code it the same exact way. And in the Expensify report, let's say that this was actually a returned item. Sorry, Charlotte, I'm gonna take over real quick.
Go for it.
So you see where it says, everything says purchase, purchase, purchase. When you know that there's this number, maybe instead of being positive, you need to make it a negative, is when I'll say return. Let's say here, Scrubs Hot gift card 475 was actually returned. You'll go in here, and all you have to do is put a negative or a minus sign in front of it and save. And there it is. That's all you have to do. Now it's just letting us know that this was actually a return. But remember, here where it says purchase, it won't say purchase, it'll say return. Just as an example. And to always, like, again, label it the same exact way as it was originally done. Whoops. So that it can offset the item and to 0. That gives you a better budget accuracy, knowing that money's back into your budget and you can spend it elsewhere.
Yeah, and it's really important to not delete any transactions, because I do get reports from the business office saying so-and-so charge is missing. So if it's on the bank account, upload it as is. Don't say like, oh, I want a clean report and I just want to delete this because it got returned. Like,
yes,
you make sure to justify every single transaction. That's the easiest way to do it. It's going to save you a lot of back and forth with
it will. So right now, this report as is, there's no modification. You don't need to change dates. All you have to do is upload and categorize it. If by accident, let's say you deleted it, right? Oh, I deleted one accident. Go back to that green plus button, click on it, and here it is. Just click on it again. And now you see that it's added back right there.
Yep.
That's it.
Good to know.
Yep.
Any questions? All right, so the last part of this, I know we're already going over, but the very last part of this is how to use it with Google Drive. So of course, as you're spending, you're putting it into the expense record, the Google form here, and then it gets uploaded here for you to maintain your own records for your own specific programs, right? And all this is just to make sure that you have something to cross-reference if you need to cross-reference with the business office or to build. It's really helpful during grant applications. It's really helpful to see trends of like where you're spending money. So then once it's there, what is this? It's 2 people chatting. I can't see that. Anyway, so it goes into this log. And then from there, when you're inside of this transaction, once this is fully set up, the reason why I said that you guys should have Google Drive downloaded onto your computer is because it makes this part a lot easier. So say the way it should look is more like, I don't know why it's not giving him all those codes.
Go to yours, George. Go to yours.
Sure.
Do the one for the 15. I think it would be the easiest.
For the 15th? This one?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wanted to see one where I can actually add an expense.
Oh, you're gonna need an open report for that.
Yeah. So in an ideal world, this is where you would see like this information, like it was uploaded in when Cynthia uploaded the expenses. All of this was already pre-filled. This category line where you're going to see all of the codes. That's where you're going to use this to say the transaction is the 171. Actually,